Just what's your summary of the season, just everything y'all went through and how y'all managed it?
A lot of highs, a lot of lows, but all in all, I'm happy with the resilience of the group. Obviously, it's a bit of a roller coaster of season for the organization and the fans and us. But all we can do is regroup and regroup, retool, and be ready.
And you were real optimistic coming into the season just about the work you did to make sure you were ready. How tough was it just to end on the note you did with the injuries kind of holding you back?
It was tough, obviously, but a sprained ankle is something that you can't plan for, right? So I was pretty happy with the body of work I put in the offseason to make sure I was healthy under my control this year. Obviously, landing on someone's foot you can't plan for, but I would have loved to play the last game, and we had extensive conversations on wanting to play the last game, but the way I was moving that last Minnesota game, I thought it was detrimental to the team to have me out there. So I figured, I thought Jax played great, and but obviously I would have loved to throw my hat in the ring on that one, but I think it was for the good of the team that I didn't, and now I got plenty of time to heal up.
Yeah, I mean, you played a ton of minutes when you were in there. Was that your expectations that they would rely on you that much this season?
Yeah, I mean, that's I would have loved to play more. That's becoming a more present role in today's teams, where you've got kind of the small ball change of pace centers, on a lot of teams. Obviously Brandon Clark for Memphis, Grant Williams for Boston. Obviously the pinnacle of that role is Draymond with the Warriors. So it's becoming more and more prevalent in the league, and I consider myself one of the best at it. So I look forward to those minutes. I'm looking forward to hopefully more next year, and I just can't wait to take a few weeks off and then get back to work.
And you were a big part of the reason this team finished sixth in defense. That was tied for the best they've ever finished in defensive efficiency. Mm-hmm. What did you guys do well? I mean, how much pride do you take in that team ranking?
I mean, personally, I take immense pride in that. That's where I hang my hat, right? So, that defensive end of the court, us finishing sixth is especially coming in the year. If you would have told us we would have finished sixth defensively, I'd have been like, oh yeah, we're a top 3 seed for sure. Our injuries in our offense is where we kind of stumbled a little bit, but defensively, yeah, I'm really proud of that. We've got some really good ball hawks on this team. Obviously, the head of the snake being Herb Jones, but bringing in Jay Rich, Naji, Dyson, there are some really good on-ball defenders, and it makes it a whole lot easier to play backline defense when you've got guys pressuring the ball out top. So, that sixth ranking is something I'm pretty proud of.
Well, CJ said that dependability is huge going forward. Obviously, 3 of your key guys only played 10 games together, CJ, B.I., and Zion. Is it that simple to be the key to success of getting our top guys out there more consistently?
I don't think there are. I mean, I'd have to take a good hard look at the history of the league, but I don't think there's a team that can say right now that, yeah, we're out of the playoffs, but we're the number 1 seed when we're healthy and dominant. We were awesome. So I would say, yeah. I think, that stretch we had. We were, on top of the West and kind of kicking ass was it put the league on notice for a little bit, and then obviously our season just kind of deteriorated. But after that, but yeah, I think in that locker room is the number 1 seed in the West, and whether we can get it on the court at the same time or not is a different question. But the talent is clearly there. Obviously dependability is the issue.
Hey Larry, as a veteran in the league, what's your message to a guy like Zion who's gone through what he's gone through the past 4 years?
With Z, I told him after that last game, I said, look, we've had our conversations this year, in front of the team, in private and whatnot, and I just want to reiterate to him that, I can't understand what he's going through, right? I haven't been a superstar since high school. People don't know my name in Paris, you know what I mean? All over the world. I don't have my own shoe. I'm not being discussed like that. So I don't understand what he's going through. But everything I tell him and every bit of potential advice I may give him, I just want him to understand that it's all coming from a place of genuine love and care for the person. Forget the player, right? Like, we all know who he is on the court. He's generational. You know, the little tidbits of advice, the little conversations we have is relationship based, right? So, like, you know, I care for him. I care for the kid, Zion Williamson, the 22-year-old. So, so for him, the only thing I have to say to him is just, you know, our conversation. Certain conversations are going to stay private, but the only thing I have for him is just like, look, no one can hope to understand, but you've got to be able to find someone that you can confide in and trust and talk to and deal with. And I think Spoon has been great for him in that manner, but you know, you've got to there's a lot that comes with, you know, heavy is the head that wears a crown, right? So I'll be an outlet for him this summer, and hopefully he'll reach out to me and you know, I've told him if he's got my number, wherever he's at, I'll pull up whenever.
Just to maybe follow up on that, you just referenced him being a kid. A lot of people use the term kid, and there's so many young players in this league that come in as teenagers. Is the next step for maybe a lot of young players going from kid to man and becoming a professional in this league?
Look, when I say kid, it's more of like I call Trey Murphy kid. I call, yeah, like that's just kind of a thing. We're full grown men, right? Like the second you step into this league, you're a full grown man. And yeah, there are some younger than others, but you know, but yeah, he's 22 years old. At 22 years old, I was speeding down Pacific Coast Highway in LA, like making ill-advised decisions. So like, it takes us a while to really grow into that. But while I was making those bad decisions, it wasn't at a microscope like he is. So, like I said, I'm never gonna understand what he's going through, but you know, I'll always be a sounding board for him.
Hey Larry, thoughts on state of the league, new CBA, things that help the kids coming in one and dones to become a 10-year vet going on like yourself?
Gosh, you know what? To be honest with you, I haven't even sat down and really looked at the new CBA. We've had a lot going on with our season. You know, over the coming weeks, obviously, I'll, you know, really dig into a little bit and see where the future of our league is headed. But you know, I trust CJ and I trust Garrett and I trust all the guys working on that worked on it. You know, I'm not one to read Twitter opinions and base my thoughts on that. So, you know, I trust those guys, and if I didn't, I would have been on the calls myself. So I wasn't on them, and you know, we elected CJ president for a reason. So, you know, I'm actually excited to go check that out.
And injuries are a big part of it. But what else do you feel like y'all need to adjust to compete at the highest level next year?
I think you know, this is gonna be a big summer. You know, for me and a lot of guys working on our shot. Yeah, that's something that we can really, you know, do more of. Obviously, we saw Herb do more of it at the end of the year, and his shot really came around. Would like to see Dyson take more shots. Naji, myself, you know, there are guys on the court at times. Like to see JV take more shots, honestly. But you know, there are guys that teams don't necessarily have to guard as close on the three-point line, which makes, you know, our stars, CJ, Brandon, Zion's job just a little bit harder. So it's going to be a big summer of shooting for me and a big summer of shooting for a lot of our guys, and I'd have to imagine Fred Vincent's going to be a busy man.
You, I think a lot of us appreciate you on social media, following things closely and commenting. How closely do you follow the off season of the league? You know, maybe the drama and the soap opera, or do you kind of disconnect from it? Do you stay in touch with executives here, coaches, or just kind of what is your process with all, you know, the off season and rumors and trades and innuendo and things like that?
The NBA is the greatest drama there's ever been. I love it. Yeah, I stay in tune with all of it pretty much. The rumors and the discussions and free agency and the draft. Yeah, I follow all of it very closely, just because that's my job. So I follow it closely. Obviously, there's going to be rumors on your own team, and I've dealt with rumors about myself and all that type of stuff. You see it all, but at the end of the day, it's I just try to have fun with it. That's all I'm on social media for, is just to have fun, and that's I feel like that's my news source at this point. So I'll be following along very closely.
Larry, having so many young players that took steps forward with their games this year, who impressed you the most?
Oof, it's hard to pick just one.
Or whose development, I should say, stood out to you the most?
It's hard to pick just one. I mean, the obvious one you'd want to say is Trey Murphy, right? Like the step he took, few steps he took was really awesome to see. The way he shot the ball, the way his confidence came around, putting the ball on the deck, finishing. I think I don't know how many small forwards led their team in dunks, and he was one. I think he almost led us in threes and dunks, but it was CJ. But that's awesome. Dude's in his second year, and the sky's the limit for him. But same goes for Herb. Herb and the confidence in his shot. We know who he is defensively. That's it's always not on Herb, but the way he came along with his shot and his aggressiveness. Another one that was really cool to see for me was two of them was Kyra Lewis. Last time I saw him, this time he wasn't even playing yet. So, for him to come along and in the biggest game of our season, earn minutes was really cool to see. And the way he's played on the practice court and just his development from that ACL has been really, really fun to watch. And I'm happy for him. EJ Liddell, same thing. Just the other day, I saw him going through workouts, and he looks great. He looks awesome, shooting the ball well, moving, throwing down a few dunks. So, I was at the game when he tore his ACL in Summer League. So, being able to come full circle and kind of see this right now has been really, really fun. Really, really fun to see. And I don't mean to leave anybody out if I did, but those are just a few off the top of my head. But, it's been really cool to see K-Lou and EJ fight through that. It's been awesome.
Appreciate it.
With what you said about Trey, I think